Welcome to Monster Trailcams, where curiosity stirs and the unexpected thrives. Here, our global community shares footage of the unexplainable, the eerie, and the intriguing creatures that hide in plain sight. We are your hub for bizarre and fascinating finds caught on camera. Click subscribe and join us on this journey of unraveling the world's unseen mysteries. Prepare to be thrilled. This is Monster Trailcams, where the wild remains wild. This popular YouTuber is renowned for looking into haunted explorations, where he uncovers the mysteries of old and abandoned structures. His videos often capture the eerie essence of places that time seems to have forgotten. In this particular video, he takes us through a dilapidated building with cracked windows, dusty furniture, and an overall unkempt appearance. Early in his adventure, he directs his camera towards a dimly lit hallway, with the only source of light being his flashlight. Out of the blue, an old wheelchair begins to move by itself before coming to a sudden halt. Intrigued, he closely inspects the wheelchair, but finds no strings or any other mechanisms that could have caused its movement. As the video continues, the YouTuber takes us outside the building. While filming a long, shadowy corridor, he spots a mysterious figure lurking at its end. However, by the time he reaches the spot, the figure has vanished without a trace. In a subsequent segment, he briefly steps out of the camera's view, but what the camera captures next is hair-raising. There appears to be a figure, but only its lower half is visible, just a pair of legs dressed in what looks like white pants. Many viewers have commented, speculating that it might be the restless spirit of a deceased doctor who once walked the hospital's corridors. In another chilling moment, our intrepid explorer enters a seemingly vacant room, but almost immediately something unnerves him, and just as he's about to make his exit, the door slams shut behind him, trapping him inside. This proves to be the final eerie event, prompting him to conclude his investigation prematurely. This raises a burning question. Did this ghost hunter truly stumble upon a malevolent spirit that still haunts the hospital's hallways? The viral TikTok video that's been creating quite a buzz within the paranormal enthusiasts showcases a man convinced that his home is haunted. This belief stems from a series of peculiar events. For instance, he observed lights flickering on and off without any clear reason, heard ominous whispers in the dead of night, and spotted unsettling shadows moving in his hallway. Wanting to get to the bottom of these mysterious occurrences, he decided to set up security cameras throughout his home. He hoped these cameras would capture evidence of whatever or whoever was responsible for these eerie happenings. And sure enough, on one of the footages, there's a clear shot of the uploader walking up the stairs, closely followed by an ominous shadow. To add to the eeriness, another camera captured a door creaking open on its own. As if that wasn't chilling enough, a ghostly pale face then emerges from the shadows, lingering and hovering in the frame for what feels like an eternity. Many viewers who've watched this video comment on the unsettling nature of the first shadow, noting that it appears to be moving on all fours. There have also been suggestions from concerned netizens that the homeowner should consider having his house cleansed or blessed to free it from any malevolent spirits or entities. A couple recently traveled to the Philippines and shared a captivating snapshot from their beach vacation. Jeffrey, who captured the image, snapped a picture of his wife who appeared to be blissfully enjoying the water. However, on closer inspection, there's something in the backdrop that seems out of place. When you zoom into the photo, the lush background reveals a dense cover of trees. Yet, oddly, there's a figure that appears to be floating in midair above them. This odd silhouette has long, dark hair, but its feet are nowhere in sight. Now, the Philippines has tales of ethereal beings, notably the White Lady. Legend has it, she's often seen wearing a white dress or a similar attire and is primarily spotted in the countryside. These stories usually tie her to some tragic event or lore. Interestingly, variations of the White Lady myth exist in numerous countries worldwide. In this particular photo, however, the mysterious figure doesn't seem to be clad in any discernible outfit. Due to the lack of clear features, it's hard to definitively say who or what it is. But it certainly adds an air of mystery to the couple's otherwise serene beach photo. Have you seen that captivating video that's been buzzing on TikTok lately? It's got folks talking and wondering if maybe, just maybe, superheroes, or let's say superhumans, are real. Picture this. Two buddies are out for a walk, deep in a chat, completely lost in their conversation. The scene around them is pretty quiet, not much going on, just a regular street scene. But then, in a split second that changes everything, something jaw-dropping occurs. Like a flash, a blur zips right by them. These two guys, they're stopped dead in their tracks, faces painted with a blend of astonishment and, did that just happen? Kind of confusion. They just stand there, as if their feet are glued to the ground, trying to make heads or tails of what they just saw. Now here's where it gets wild. If you have the patience to slow that video down, you can actually make out a human figure in that blur. But this isn't just any regular person in a hurry. This figure seems to be floating, just a touch above the pavement. And the way its body is stretched out, it's like a scene you'd expect in a blockbuster superhero film. So, if that really was a person, it begs the question, what kind of next-level powers do they have? Is it possible we've got people walking among us who could be straight out of a comic book? Or maybe it's a clever trick, a piece of tech wizardry, or a really good prank. We can't be sure yet, but one thing's for certain. It's got everyone's imagination running wild. A captivating video shared by Viral Hog and captured by Andre has been generating quite a buzz on social media platforms. On a night with a radiant full moon, Andre noticed some mysterious objects in the sky and felt compelled to document what he was seeing. Using what seems to be a high-powered telescope paired with a high-definition camera, he managed to capture incredibly clear close-up footage of the moon, a testament to the quality of his equipment, considering the vast distance. As he was filming, something unexpected occurred. 3 distinct round dots emerged, hovering against the moon's surface in what appeared to be a perfect formation. But that wasn't the end of the anomaly. Just a few minutes later, multiple similar objects started to emerge, almost as if someone was sprinkling them across the moon's surface. Andre isn't just any casual skywatcher. For 2 decades, he's been a passionate astronomy enthusiast, dedicating a significant amount of time studying the moon. He even claims to have spotted UFOs in the past. According to him, these mysterious flying objects hover at an altitude of around 500 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Could this footage be the evidence many have been searching for? A concrete sign of extraterrestrial life? Or is there another, more mundane explanation for these mysterious black, round objects? Whatever they are, they've certainly piqued our collective curiosity. In an intriguing video shared on TikTok, there's a man holding what looks like a vibrantly colored heap of hay with a hollow center. You can hear the lively beats playing in the background, and with a massive crowd watching, it's evident that this is some sort of festival event. The man carefully places this unique object on the ground. Once he's sure it's stable, he gently taps it a few times. Incredibly, after his taps, the object begins to spin as if on command. Yet the truly astonishing part is this. Just moments before, there wasn't anyone inside that hollow space that could have possibly controlled the movement of the hay. Could we be witnessing some sort of mystical ritual? To shed some light on this mystery, the ritual depicted in the video is known as zangbeto. It's considered to hold supernatural powers. Moreover, this tradition is a communal one, arising not from individual endeavors, but from collective belief. The practice traces its roots back to the pre-colonial days of the Egun people who hail from Badagry and the coastal region of Porto Novo in neighboring Benin. In another video, this time shared on YouTube, we see the process of creating a zangbeto. Astonishingly, as more hay is added to shape this peculiar structure, the zangbeto comes to life, moving and twirling energetically. Many are convinced that it's the potent forces of voodoo that breathe life into the zangbeto, allowing it to move on its own, devoid of any human interference. There's a video on YouTube that's been catching a lot of attention recently. It claims to show evidence of extraterrestrial life, aliens. But like with many things online, you have to wonder, Is this the real deal or just some clever editing? Here's how the video goes down. There's this young girl, probably about 8 or 9, walking down some steps. She's got someone filming her, trailing behind. Even though it's dark outside, this brave little one steps out, seemingly curious or maybe even determined. Now, the reason they're filming is a bit unclear. Maybe they heard some weird noises or saw something out of the ordinary, but one thing's for sure, the camera is all over the place, which makes it tough to see what's going on. But then, as the camera moves around, you catch a glimpse of it. Right there, peeking from behind a tree, is this creature. It's got this big round head and these big slanty eyes. It's the kind of image that pops into your mind when someone says alien. But here's the real kicker. Just as things start getting interesting, the video cuts off. We don't even get to see how the little girl reacts, so it leaves you wondering. What's your take? Do you think someone staged this whole thing for likes and views, or could it be that we're actually seeing evidence that we're not alone in this universe, and some visitors might have already dropped by? On the surface, this video seems like any other, taken in a wide open space. A few moments in, a white car rolls by, the kind of everyday scene you'd expect on any city street. But then, something strange happens that's a bit hard to wrap your head around. When you really zero in on the video, you notice that as the car drives past, there's not a soul in sight. Yet just as the car moves on, suddenly, a person appears out of thin air right behind it. They look around, clearly puzzled, trying to figure out what just happened. It's hard to believe they could have come from the car. And here's the kicker. 2 motorcyclists speed by, not even noticing the person as if they were invisible. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could this person have somehow stepped through a portal from a different place or time? People often quip, everything's bigger in Australia. Well, a photo taken by Alec might just prove this point. This snapshot, captured one bright, sunny morning in New South Wales, Australia, features an astoundingly large feline, so much so that even Alec himself could hardly believe what he was seeing. The cat, with its broad head and muscular body, towered over the size one would expect from your average wildcat. Its size was so unusual that some began to speculate. Could this be the legendary Blue Mountain Panther, or even Lithgow, a fabled giant cat rumored to have roamed the expanses of New South Wales for over 100 years? But one question remains. Why is it that this massive cat isn't spotted more often? Is it shy, elusive, or simply a master of camouflage? This tale of a gigantic feline continues to intrigue us all. In 2018, a group of friends set off on what was meant to be a thrilling boating adventure down a river in the Dominican Republic. The day was filled with laughter, splashes, and memories, but the mood took a chilling turn when they later reviewed their captured footage. On screen, a shadowy figure of a woman could be seen, swimming beneath the water's surface, appearing as though she was in pursuit of their boat. Alarmed, the group promptly reported their eerie discovery to local authorities, who wasted no time initiating a thorough search of the area. However, their efforts came up empty. Digging deeper, the researchers learned of a haunting coincidence. A woman had vanished in that very region just a year prior. Though her body was eventually found, the mystery of her disappearance remained. Was the figure in the water the restless spirit of the same woman, still lingering in the place she last knew? The footage keeps the chilling question alive. A video uploaded by the user Sleuthjuice on Imgur has left many viewers feeling uneasy. The footage, captured by a CCTV security camera at their home, reveals an incident that's difficult to interpret but unsettling nonetheless. In the video, we can see a man wearing a beanie and a jacket as he walks up the stairs to the porch. He seems to be inspecting the house, his actions deliberate and his focus intense. For about 30 seconds, he examines the area, looking around as if searching for something or someone. Then, without any clear reason, he turns away and the video ends. The context of the man's actions is unknown, which only adds to the creepiness of the situation. Was he just lost, possibly a mentally challenged individual trying to figure out his correct address? Or was there a more sinister motive behind his behavior? The thought that this man might be stalking someone is disturbing. If he were a potential robber casing the house, his actions could be seen as a prelude to a crime. His presence, unexplained and unexpected, leaves a lingering sense of unease. While the video doesn't provide enough information to draw any firm conclusions, it serves as a stark reminder of the importance of home security and being vigilant about who is around our homes. It's an unsettling glimpse into a moment that could happen to any of us, raising questions that might never be answered, but leaving an impression that's hard to shake off. During the night, a CCTV camera at the loading dock captured a rather unsettling event. We see a man driving a truck, skillfully backing up his rig to park it at the dock. He gets out of the truck and starts walking, but as he passes by, something strange occurs. A dark, shadowy figure appears to follow him, trailing behind until he crosses the street. Some viewers initially dismissed it, thinking it might just be his shadow. However, upon playing back the video, we notice something even more mysterious. The shadowy figure was already in the parking lot before the man could even reach that spot. It's almost as if it was waiting for him. At one point, the man even looked around, seemingly sensing that something or someone was following him. These shadow figures are a subject of intrigue and debate. Some describe them as harmless or even explainable phenomena, but others offer a more ominous interpretation. We can't truly predict the intentions of these shadowy entities or understand what they really are. Are they simply tricks of the light, or do they represent something more? The video doesn't provide any answers, but it does give viewers a chilling and thought-provoking mystery to ponder. A Reddit user shared a rather unusual video, capturing the attention of many. The video, taken from a Ring doorbell camera, seems to show a somewhat transparent figure leisurely walking across the front yard of their friend's grandparents' home. The sight, as one might imagine, stirred up a flurry of conversations and debates on the platform. Now, when you see something out of the ordinary, especially when it involves potential supernatural phenomena, opinions will naturally vary. And this video was no exception. Many Reddit users dived deep into discussions, trying to decode the possible reasons behind the figure's peculiar presence. Was it something otherworldly or just a technical hiccup? The grandmother, having seen the video, is steadfast in her belief. She's convinced that what they captured on camera is a ghost. Her conviction is unwavering, and she's certain that there's something supernatural at play. On the other hand, the individual who posted the video isn't as convinced. She believes that it might simply be a person, albeit at an odd hour, 2 a.m. to be precise, walking through their yard. And while she may not be sure about the ghostly angle, she does acknowledge that the idea of a stranger strolling around one's property in the dead of night is unsettling in its own right. But like any good mystery, there were more perspectives to be heard. Skeptics quickly joined the conversation, sharing their own theories and insights. One of the most frequently mentioned explanations from this group was that the ghost might just be a result of a camera glitch. Perhaps the camera malfunctioned, or there was an issue with the footage playback. A Reddit user has recently shared a video that has garnered much attention due to its eerie content. The footage features a man and his friends venturing out one night, driven by a thirst for exploration. One of the group members is seen wielding a camera, documenting their adventure by capturing seemingly ordinary elements. However, the ordinary quickly transitions into the extraordinary when they spot an isolated figure in the darkness.
Get the f*** out of here right now. I'm dead-ass f***ing serious. This is freaking me the fuck out.
Standing completely alone, there appears to be a child who is strikingly motionless. The sight is so uncanny and unnerving that the friends decide to relocate, but the peculiarity of the night continues to escalate. Unexpectedly, they come across the same figure once again. Now, however, the silent, childlike figure stands across the road, still utterly devoid of any movement. Initially, they mistake it for a figurine or a statue due to its incredible stillness. This unusual sight begs the question, what exactly is this figure? Is it an ethereal spirit or just a perfectly still statue? The answers remain shrouded in mystery, leaving the viewers entranced and seeking explanations. In a secret place, Tucked away from prying eyes, a surveillance camera was recording an otherwise ordinary day. Everything seemed normal, uneventful even. For the first couple of seconds, the screen showed nothing out of the ordinary, nothing you'd consider unusual. Suddenly, the monotony was disrupted by a cat that came sauntering into the frame. The feline moved towards a heap of garbage, presumably in search of a meal, or perhaps some scrap that piqued its curiosity. But what happened next was far from normal. Out of nowhere, without any apparent cause or warning, the mound of trash dramatically burst into flames. The unsuspecting cat, caught by surprise, quickly dashed away from the sudden danger. Oddly enough, everyone else nearby seemed to carry on with their routines, oblivious to the unusual spectacle. The question that lingers is, what could have possibly sparked this spontaneous combustion? As of now, it remains an unsolved mystery. The camera, a silent witness to this peculiar event, continues its watch, recording the world and all its strange happenings. Throughout the years, many homeowners have chosen to install surveillance cameras for safety and security. What's surprising, though, is how often these cameras capture occurrences we'd never have imagined. Take this video clip as an example, where we observe a mysterious, disembodied shape appearing within the camera's field of view. Not only that, but a flashing orb can also be seen, seemingly hovering near this mysterious shadow. According to the homeowners, no one was present in that specific location at the time the video was recorded.
Watch this spot right here. You can see a shadow up here. Boom.
And no one's there.
Oddly enough, the orb seems to blink in and out of sight near the stationary shadow, almost as though it's keeping the shadow company.
It just sits there too.
It does. It just sits right there.
You can see the whole shadow.
This phenomena brings to mind tales of shadow people, entities believed to be of a somewhat sinister or malevolent nature. The question arises, why did this apparent shadow person choose to stand undisturbed in the darkness? A lady wandering along a dimly lit trail at night felt a sense of discomfort. Trusting her instincts, she began to record her surroundings, thinking it might come in handy should anything unusual happen. The footage reveals a jogger passing her, visible when she angles the camera behind her. Yet in a twist of events, when she swings the camera back to her front, that jogger is nowhere to be found. Strangely enough, moments later, the same jogger reappears to her left, pausing momentarily before darting backward as if in pursuit of her. Fueled by fear, she sprinted away, cutting the recording short. Once this eerie snippet made its way to social media, it quickly gathered traction, igniting a flurry of reactions and speculations. Some viewers commented on its cinematic feel, likening it to a movie scene, although no one could quite pinpoint which movie. A segment of the audience felt the incident might have been premeditated, arguing the event seemed too uncanny to be real. The footage undeniably raises eyebrows and chills. We'd love to hear your take on it, genuine scare or cleverly staged. In yet another mind-boggling clip shared on TikTok by The Matrix is Broken, we find ourselves inside a car that's trapped in a traffic jam on Suffield Mountain Road. But what causes this congestion isn't your everyday traffic snag. In an inexplicable scenario, a car is seen stationary in the middle of the road, seemingly without cause. The way this car is positioned defies all logical understanding of physics. It's almost as if it has plummeted from the sky or been dislodged from the towering trees nearby.
This is what's happening right now in Suffield on Mountain Road.
The sight raises some bewildering questions that leave viewers scratching their heads. How is the car managing such an extraordinary suspension? And even more puzzling, how does it maintain its balance throughout the entire duration of the video? It's a spectacle that appears to challenge our understanding of the physical world. In a fascinating TikTok video uploaded by user Jezebel TikTok, viewers are plunged into an enigma that has sparked lively debate. The short clip, shot from the inside of a car, seems ordinary enough initially, featuring a man strolling along a sidewalk. Suddenly, the man does something that sends viewers spiraling into a world of speculation. As he takes off his jacket and extends it forward, another man, dressed in a red shirt, appears to materialize out of thin air. The unexpectedness of this event sends a ripple of intrigue through the viewer's mind. With the video causing quite the stir, theories began to circulate in an attempt to make sense of the seemingly inexplicable scene. Some viewers suggest that perhaps there was a hidden passage in the right-hand wall from which the red-shirted man emerged. Others put forth the idea that this could be an optical illusion, a trick of the angle. They speculate that the movements of the first man and the man in the red shirt were perfectly synced, creating the illusion of one man appearing from nowhere as they crossed paths. Several years ago, an eerie incident transpired in the backyard of a Reddit user's home in Atlanta, Georgia. It was late at night, and the individual was comfortably settled in their house when their Nest IQ security system alerted them of movement in their backyard. The system, designed specifically to recognize faces, displayed an image that gave the user a serious case of the creeps. It was precisely 10:54 p.m., and the security alert presented a mystifying question. Do you know this person? On the screen was what appeared to be a foggy, almost transparent face lurking in the yard. The original poster, OP, shared their story on Reddit and mentioned that they weren't immediately asserting that the image was of a ghost. Still, they couldn't help but be spooked by the ghostly visage. Skeptics, having seen the image, posited that it might be a case of pareidolia, a phenomenon where the human brain recognizes familiar patterns or shapes in random objects. Yet, this explanation doesn't entirely hold up, since it doesn't account for the initial detection of movement in the backyard that triggered the alert. As a result, the image has become a hot topic of discussion among paranormal enthusiasts, with opinions divided on whether it depicts a genuine ghost or is merely an optical illusion. In situations like these, where concrete evidence is scarce, people tend to interpret things differently. As with many purported ghostly sightings, the truth of the matter is often ambiguous, and individuals must decide for themselves what they believe. In this case, the Reddit user was left with an unsettling image and more questions than answers. Did they capture a fleeting moment of a paranormal phenomenon, or was it a mere trick of the light? Perhaps we'll never know for sure. Believers in the supernatural might see this incident as evidence of otherworldly beings, while skeptics might dismiss it as a simple malfunction of technology or an overactive imagination. A few months back, a Reddit user who goes by the name Little Space Mochi posted a video that really got people talking. The video was shot on September 29, 2022, and shows something pretty intriguing, a mysterious object floating past the moon. Now, this isn't just any object, it's shaped like a disc, reminding a lot of us of those classic alien flying saucers we've seen in movies and comics. Apparently, the video was shot using some high-quality, professional-grade equipment, and it's said to have been filmed somewhere in China. As you can imagine, this footage spread like wildfire on Reddit. People couldn't stop talking about it. Comments were coming in by the hundreds. Everyone was trying to figure out what they were seeing. Is it real, or is it just an elaborate hoax? Some folks were skeptical, saying it all seemed a bit too perfect, almost like a scene from a sci-fi movie. They were questioning whether it could really be genuine. But on the flip side, there were people who pointed out that creating a fake video of this quality would be really tough. They argued that if someone tried to use CGI to make it, the video would probably end up looking more artificial. And that brings us to another interesting question. With so many people around the world constantly watching and recording the moon, why haven't more sources come forward to confirm this sighting? You'd think that if something that extraordinary happened, other cameras would have caught it too, right? When the show James May, Our Man in Italy first aired, audiences were quick to notice some oddities. In several scenes, there appeared to be strange anomalies in the background. The first unusual sighting was in a field. Shortly after, another was identified in a different shot. But these odd instances didn't stop there. In episode 4, while James May is in a parking garage in Florence, a curious image emerges. A see-through figure of a man moving from left to right.
Which was a little bit awkward, but I did choose one.
Furthermore, in the episode titled House of Pain, yet another shadowy figure is caught lurking in the background.
It is worth remembering that this actually is a mass grave.
Initially, the popular belief was that these occurrences were nothing more than glitches. James May himself chimed in on the subject, suggesting via Twitter that it was probably a case of corrupted video files. But given the frequency of these mysterious figures appearing in various episodes, many started to question this explanation. Was the production team behind the show pulling some kind of prank on the viewers, or did they inadvertently release the show with multiple corrupted scenes? It seems a bit far-fetched that such errors would slip through, especially considering the show's high production value. A more intriguing theory has since emerged. Some fans speculate that something or someone might be trailing James May. They argue that it's quite implausible for so many glitches to end up in a high-budget series. Instead, they're convinced that these are genuine glimpses of a spirit, possibly one that has some connection with May. Whether these are indeed paranormal activities or just harmless production mistakes remains to be seen. A couple vacationing in Scotland managed to record intriguing footage of a mysterious entity moving in the waters of Loch Ness. This sighting has reignited speculations about the existence of the legendary Loch Ness monster, often affectionately referred to as Nessie. The couple, who have chosen to stay out of the spotlight by remaining anonymous, were enjoying their vacation when they unexpectedly witnessed something unusual in the renowned Loch Ness waters. Enthusiasts and experts dedicated to the legend of Nessie have described the video as some of the most compelling footage obtained in recent memory. The clip vividly displays a sizable entity moving just beneath the water's surface, occasionally breaking through with a notable hum. Based on their observation, the couple estimated the creature to be anywhere from 20 to 30 feet in length, possessing a fin that seemingly aided its movement through the water. For many, Nessie is a symbol of mystery, often depicted as a massive aquatic being with a stretched neck. The creature's appearance in many accounts strikingly resembles a plesiosaur, leading some to theorize that Nessie could potentially be a remnant from prehistoric times, still lurking in modern waters. However, not everyone is convinced. Skeptics often dismiss these reported sightings as mere misunderstandings. They argue that many Nessie photographs and videos could simply be depicting common aquatic animals or floating debris. Some even go as far as suggesting that many of these pieces of evidence are intentionally fabricated hoaxes. What sets this footage apart, according to some experts, is its clarity. They consider it to be one of the most credible pieces of evidence supporting Nessie's existence to surface in the past several decades. Meanwhile, the couple behind the footage expressed neutrality on the matter. While they appreciate the myths and tales associated with Loch Ness, they neither strongly believe nor dismiss Nessie's existence. Their main hope in sharing the footage was to offer it up for expert analysis, aiming to potentially bring some clarity to the ongoing mystery. As of now, despite the intriguing video, a concrete answer remains elusive. Nobody has been able to conclusively identify the cause of the pronounced disturbance seen in the Loch Ness waters. A user recently shared a video clip on TikTok that captivated many. The footage, both puzzling and slightly unsettling, featured an oddity in the sky that left countless viewers scratching their heads. As the video begins, we see an puzzling orb of light positioned just above the sun, almost as if there's an additional celestial body.
Planet that is right north of the sun.
Moments later, the individual recording the video pans the camera to reveal the moon, which can be seen in the opposite direction. The person who uploaded the video floated a whimsical theory. Could this be a glitch in some kind of vast cosmic simulation we're all a part of?
And wow, I would love to say it was the moon, but since the moon happens to be right here on the opposite side, there's no way it is.
Imagine a computer game so intricate that it occasionally makes errors, like accidentally showing an extra sun in the sky.
Oh, just look at that planet just beaming and shining right now. Somebody tell me what it is. Thank you.
This playful notion drew laughter and a range of reactions from the TikTok community. Some cheeky commenters couldn't resist drawing parallels with Tatooine. Yes, that iconic desert planet from the Star Wars saga that boasts not one but two suns.
Y'all have been taught in school that Mercury and Venus do not show up. Oh, just look at that planet just beaming and shining right now.
Now, for those who are familiar with natural phenomena, this video might not be as bewildering. There exists a logical explanation for such a sight, and it's known as a sundog. This isn't some mythical creature, but rather a scientifically recognized atmospheric optical illusion. The sundog phenomenon occurs when ice crystals in the atmosphere refract or bend sunlight. This refraction can result in a bright and visible spot on one or both sides of the sun. In essence, what people may be witnessing in such videos are the wonders of nature and its ability to astound us with its unexpected displays. Still, for someone encountering this for the first time, seeing a sundog can be quite the surreal experience. In 2013, a captivating mystery unfolded when photographer Nathan Ziegler took to the old Pioneer Cemetery in Milton Freewater, Oregon. While testing his new camera, he set it to capture a time-lapse, with each snapshot taken every 30 seconds. He aimed to capture the mesmerizing sight of the setting sun silhouetting the aging tombstones that dotted the horizon. At the time, he simply saw it as an exercise in photography, but when he returned home and went through the images, one single frame caught his attention. There, to the right of a tree on a hill, was a hunched figure. Strangely, this figure appeared only in that one frame, and then vanished in the subsequent shots. The image puzzled Ziegler, compelling him to look deeper into this mystery. The isolation of the old Pioneer Cemetery, set amidst vast wheat fields, made it highly improbable for anyone to be wandering alone so late in the evening. To understand the phenomenon better, Ziegler decided to conduct an experiment. He wanted to know if it was possible for someone to traverse the camera's view in just 30 seconds, thus appearing in only one frame. Surprisingly, the result indicated that if someone walked with purpose, they could manage it. However, the likelihood of someone briskly strolling through a remote cemetery at night still seemed far-fetched. Adding to the intrigue was the unusual appearance of the figure. Unlike any typical human silhouette, the figure's head was oddly bulbous and elongated. To contrast the mysterious figure with a human form, Ziegler photographed his brother-in-law standing near the same tree. The comparison was startling. While the image of Ziegler's brother-in-law was crisp and defined, the mysterious figure appeared hazier, possessing an almost ghostly aura. The old Pioneer Cemetery, established in 1878, is the final resting place for some of the region's earliest settlers. Sadly, over the years, it has suffered from vandalism and neglect. Some believe the figure in Ziegler's photo could be the restless spirit of a pioneer, perhaps upset over the desecration of their final resting place. Others, however, have a more otherworldly theory. Pointing out its large head, petite frame, and peculiar posture, they argue that the figure eerily resembles depictions of extraterrestrial beings, popularly known as gray aliens. Despite numerous theories and Ziegler's dedicated attempts to demystify the photograph, a concrete explanation eludes us. In 1863, the Battle of Gettysburg took place, marking one of the most significant events in the American Civil War. It was here that the most substantial number of casualties occurred during the entire conflict. Fast forward to today, and numerous visitors to Gettysburg claim to have experienced paranormal activities. These ghostly encounters have long piqued the interest of both skeptics and believers alike. A captivating instance comes from a photo shared by a Reddit user. This individual emphasized that their trip to Gettysburg was primarily to honor the fallen, not to jump into ghost hunting. However, during their visit to the cemetery, they encountered something that left a profound impression on them. They noticed a mysterious movement next to a tree and quickly captured a photograph. Upon closer inspection, the image revealed a peculiar figure to the right of the tree. This eerie form, combined with the sounds of distant marching, which the visitor claimed to have heard, certainly raised many questions. Other online viewers of this photo shared similar experiences. They mentioned hearing the chilling sounds of cannons, disembodied war cries, and, like the original poster, the distinct sound of marching. When the photo was presented to a park ranger familiar with the area, they suggested that the figure bore a striking resemblance to a Confederate soldier on horseback. Yet another theory that surfaced is even more chilling. Local legends tell of a cryptid, known colloquially as Old Green Eyes. According to lore, the massive bloodshed at Gettysburg attracted this creature. Descriptions paint it as a humanoid being with a deformed, enlarged jaw boasting long fangs. However, its most distinctive feature is its luminous green eyes. Over the years, many visitors, including a park ranger named Edward Tinney, have claimed to encounter this creature. In a 1981 interview, Tinney detailed his experience, noting the creature's intense greenish-orange eyes that glared menacingly at him. He went on to describe its long, pointed fangs and hair, reminiscent of a woman's. While the photographed figure doesn't clearly display the iconic green eyes attributed to the Old Green Eyes legend, it does possess an undeniably human-like appearance, possibly even showcasing long, dark hair. This leaves us with a haunting question. Could this be an apparition from the battlefield, the mysterious creature of legend, or perhaps another unexplained phenomenon altogether? The Battle of Gettysburg, with its rich history, continues to fascinate and mystify those who venture to its grounds. Whether driven by historical intrigue or the allure of the unknown, the tales of Gettysburg ensure that its legacy endures beyond the confines of textbooks. This video is a powerful reminder that you don't always need tales of the supernatural to feel uneasy. Often the natural world, in all its unpredictability, can be just as, if not more, unnerving. Consider, for instance, a recent video that took the internet by storm, shared by a TikTok user. This clip didn't feature ghosts, goblins, or spooky specters. Instead, what we see feels like it's straight out of a Hollywood disaster film. Giant hailstones nearly as big as baseballs, crashing down from the sky with an intensity that's both mesmerizing and terrifying. There's no scene of a haunted house or eerie spirits, but the devastation and power are palpable. The backdrop of a swimming pool, instead of offering a calm contrast, only heightens the drama. Every hailstone that crashes creates violent splashes, making it seem as though the pool's about to boil from the sheer force of the impact. This isn't some eerie, otherworldly event. It's a raw display of nature's might, demonstrating the sheer force these ice chunks exert as they strike the earth. The widespread reaction to this video speaks volumes. It went viral almost immediately, garnering over 1 million views and eliciting hundreds of thousands of comments. And as you go through these responses, one emotion stands out: utter astonishment. People worldwide shared their amazement and concern about the ferocity of the weather on display. Though the digital world is often a battleground of differing opinions, this time, the universal feeling was one of genuine worry. Many comments poured in expressing hopes that the person who shared the video was okay. Amid the raw intensity of the clip, it's easy to overlook that someone was there, capturing this intense event in real time. Beyond the expressions of shock, many also conveyed hope, praying that the aftermath of such a storm wasn't devastating for those in its path. To wrap things up, this video serves as a striking reminder of a simple truth. Our natural world, with its myriad events, can be as sinister as the most haunting ghost tale. So, the next time you ponder what's genuinely terrifying, think back to this video and the awe-inspiring power of the skies above us. It's a testament to the fact that sometimes what we can clearly see right in front of us can evoke the most profound emotions and leave an indelible mark. Many believe that animals have a heightened sensitivity to the paranormal, even more so than humans. A video clip uploaded on TikTok might just provide evidence for this intriguing idea. The footage begins with a TikToker stepping outside to check on her horses. But instead of the usual calm behavior she's accustomed to seeing, these horses are acting oddly. With intense focus, they seem transfixed on the nearby trees, their attention unwavering. Even as she calls out to them, it takes several attempts before they acknowledge her presence. As they eventually saunter towards her, something even more mysterious is captured. the camera picks up a bizarre voice distinctly saying, "Hey!" Which is then followed by an eerie, chilling laughter. This unexpected audio has left many viewers buzzing with theories and speculations. Among the most popular is the idea that the mysterious voice might belong to a skinwalker. Now, for those unfamiliar, skinwalkers have their roots in Navajo mythology. These supernatural entities are believed to possess the power to shapeshift into various animals. More often than not, they're said to use this ability with nefarious intentions, seeking to deceive or harm unsuspecting individuals. Drawing from this lore, some have posited that the skinwalker might have been lurking in the trees, watching. Others even suggested the chilling possibility that one of the horses could have been possessed or influenced by this entity. Recently, a truly puzzling video was posted on Instagram that has left many scratching their heads. In this clip, there's an elderly man strolling by himself, holding what looks to be a bucket or pail. As he continues on his path, suddenly, out of nowhere, a dog appears right behind him. The interesting thing is, the dog didn't dart out from across the street, nor was it walking beside the man from the beginning. The man does catch a quick glimpse of the dog when he notices it dashing by.
Are you able to?
Bro, no way.
Are you able to go all the way back? Show me.
No way.
Keep going. All the way. You got this. Come on, keep going. All the way.
Bro, there's nothing even there to make it move.
Oh, dude, there's a ghost in your car.
But he just keeps on walking, seemingly unaware of the mysterious way the dog just appeared out of thin air. Now, some viewers, after watching this, have come up with a few intriguing theories.
Are you able to? All the way. All the way. You got this. Keep going. Keep going.
Bro!
You got this. All the way. Now, can you go all the way back?
Some suggest that maybe, just maybe, it's a case of a time-traveling dog. Others are leaning into the popular idea of a glitch in the Matrix, suggesting that perhaps reality had a minor hiccup. So, here's the million-dollar question. Which theory do you think holds more weight regarding this peculiar event? Or could there be a simpler explanation that we're all missing? In 2019, Donald installed a trail camera in Redgate, aiming to document the movements of local wildlife. However, instead of capturing wild animals, he discovered something unexpected. The camera Donald used was designed to take a series of consecutive photos whenever it sensed motion. To his surprise, one set of photos revealed a figure, a grayish, bald entity with no distinguishable features. It resembled a human silhouette, but there was something eerie and unfamiliar about it. Could it be an extraterrestrial presence lurking in the darkness? When speaking to KXLF in an interview, Donald shared his initial reaction. He had thought it might be a person, but the more he examined the image, the more he began to doubt that conclusion. Redgate, located near Deer Lodge, is known for its unexplained occurrences. In the circles of paranormal and UFO enthusiasts, Redgate is often labeled a place of high strangeness. This term suggests that the area frequently witnesses mysterious and inexplicable events. This isn't the first time such a peculiar incident has been associated with this region. In Great Falls during the 1950s, a noteworthy event took place. Around 11:30 in the morning, as Mariana was exploring the reserved seating section at Legion Park, he spotted two shiny spherical objects soaring above the smelter stack of the ACM plant. They were at a height he estimated to be about 5,000 feet. Shocked, Mariana did a double take, rubbing his eyes to ensure he wasn't imagining things. Seeking validation, he promptly called his secretary over to bear witness. This sighting by Nick Mariana wasn't an isolated incident in 1950. However, what set Mariana's experience apart was concrete evidence. He had 16 memolar footage that seemed to show these flying discs.
As I looked up, I saw two silvery objects moving swiftly out of the northwest. They appeared to be moving directly south. The objects were very bright and about 10,000 feet in the air. They appeared to be of a bright, shiny metal, like polished silver. Both were the same size and were traveling at the same rate of speed which was much slower than the jets which shot by shortly after I filmed the disc.
Given these accounts, one has to wonder, is this region a magnet for extraterrestrial encounters? Have you seen that captivating video circulating on Instagram? It captures a man slipping and tumbling on a patch of ice. At first glance, it might seem like just another typical winter mishap. But when you take a moment to slow down the video, something peculiar stands out. Pay close attention and you'll notice that the man's legs inexplicably switch positions. Many viewers were quick to chime in, suggesting it might be a glitch in the Matrix. If you're unfamiliar with the term, it was popularized by the 1999 film The Matrix. In the movie, the concept is introduced that all of humanity might be living inside a massive computer simulation. Over the years, when something strange or inexplicable happens, people have playfully referred to it as a glitch in the Matrix, hinting at the idea that it's a momentary malfunction in our simulated reality. So, what's your take on the video? Do you think it's just a camera trick, an optical illusion, or perhaps a genuine glitch in the Matrix? Whatever it is, it's got people talking. A video recently surfaced on Reddit that has caught the attention of many. At the start of the clip, the person filming, presumably the uploader, captures a serene scene in the woods with his wife standing nearby. At first glance, everything looks completely normal. There's a quiet trail ahead, and the thick forest looms in the backdrop. However, as he continues to move the camera around, something unexpected and peculiar appears. Without missing a beat, he turns to his wife and asks, "Did you see that?" To which she responds with a simple, "No." What they, and now many viewers, witnessed was a fleeting shadowy figure darting past the woman.
Did I just get you? You sure? Yeah.
This figure was peculiar in that it didn't quite have a definitive shape. It seemed to hover just above the ground and had a semi-transparent quality to it. Some of those who have watched the video commented that the shadow's form and shape vaguely resemble a kangaroo. Yet others believe it could simply be an optical illusion created by mist or fog in the woods. It's a mystery that has sparked many debates and left viewers scratching their heads. So what's your take on it? What do you believe this puzzling shadow could be? Some believe that ancient structures like Stonehenge were crafted not by human hands but by extraterrestrial beings. The purpose and origin of Stonehenge have been subjects of endless speculation and debate, and theories have ranged from religious rituals to astronomical calendars. Among the more fringe theories is the idea that the monument is a product of alien craftsmanship, which could explain the extraordinary effort and precision required to erect it. The TikToker Sea Goddess and her companion were doing just that, capturing their journey on camera. Just as they were approaching the tourist site, the unexpected happened. Their camera lens caught something unusual, a glaring horizontal light hovering distantly in the sky. Unlike any aircraft or drone commonly seen, this object possessed a plate-like or saucer-shaped structure. To add to the strangeness, it remained utterly still.
Look at that thing in the sky.
It's not moving.
As if suspended in midair or time itself. At first glance, you might think it's a plane or perhaps a drone, but drones simply aren't that large, and planes are readily identifiable by their wings. This object had none. The viewers were just as intrigued as the couple themselves. Comments started pouring in, and theories abounded. A number of people suggested that it might be nothing more than the moon obscured partially by clouds, but a careful re-examination of the footage tells a different tale. The moon, a celestial body we're all familiar with, maintains its spherical shape regardless of atmospheric conditions. The object in question, however, doesn't align with these characteristics. Here's where it gets even more baffling. When the video is slowed down, frame by frame, something utterly inexplicable happens. The object appears to tilt slightly to the left, a maneuver the moon is certainly incapable of. This subtle shift introduces a whole new layer of questions and drives the narrative of this mysterious occurrence into an entirely new realm of possibilities. So what are we left to make of this enigmatic sighting captured on the way to one of the world's most mysterious landmarks? Could it be that this couple stumbled upon evidence supporting the notion that Stonehenge, and maybe even our very understanding of history, is not what it seems? So, do you think this hovering object has extraterrestrial origins, or is there a more mundane explanation? Share your thoughts and theories. The YouTuber known as Paranormal Nomad recently uploaded a video that's definitely worth checking out. He captured the footage in a snowy cemetery, and it was well past dark when he was filming. Now,
it's playing tricks on me? I could have sworn I saw the arm go up. Whoa, wait, no way.
what's particularly intriguing is when he zooms in on a statue. He himself starts to question if the statue's arm might have moved just a tiny bit. The video quality isn't the best. It's a bit grainy and blurry, making it tough to tell what's really going on. That said, Paranormal Nomad is known for exploring graveyards all on his own, so you've got to give him credit for venturing into such an eerie setting. But back to the footage. When you watch it closely, it does sort of seem like the statue's arm shifts ever so slightly. Now, it could just be our eyes playing tricks on us. Or maybe the grainy quality of the video is making us see things that aren't really there. But if you're not totally convinced, feel free to hit that replay button and take another look. There's definitely something unsettling about this capture, so go ahead, watch it again, and decide for yourself what you think is going on. A YouTuber recently captured some pretty intriguing footage while they were out boating on a river in Putumayo, Colombia. In the video, you can clearly see something, some kind of movement or disturbance, going on in the water as the boat cruises by. It's weird, right? And get this, you can even hear a guy in the background speculating that it might be a gigantic fish causing those ripples. I mean, what else could make water move like that? Now, the person holding the camera did try to get a closer look, but here's the thing. The water was just too murky to really see what's lurking underneath. You could barely make anything out. So, it remains a mystery. A lot of people who watch the video have their own theories. Some think it could just be a floating log being carried by the river's current. But if you ask me, the way that thing seemed to speed up in the water doesn't really make it look like any ordinary log. Others have come up with even wilder ideas, like maybe it's a humongous alligator hiding beneath the surface. Some have even suggested that it could be an anaconda or something like the Loch Ness Monster. Can you believe that? So what's really going on here? Is this some natural phenomenon we can easily explain away with science, or is it something else entirely? The video has definitely got people talking, and it's sparking a ton of speculation. So if you've got a theory or maybe a logical explanation, we're all ears. The video of this football match was filmed in Germany and later made its way onto Reddit, capturing the attention of users all over the world. Now, if you take a good look at the clip, you'll notice the crowd is absolutely buzzing. They're super pumped and making a ton of noise. But what's really interesting, and a bit alarming, is that they seem totally unaware that the part of the stadium right above is actually shifting and bouncing up and down. Believe it or not, the fans right under this shaky structure don't appear to have any clue that something's not quite right. It's almost as if they're too caught up in the excitement of the game to notice that the stadium itself is joining in on the action, but in a way that could potentially be dangerous. Someone in the comments section made an interesting point. Maybe the stadium was engineered to withstand such extreme movements and vibrations, like it's designed to flex a little without collapsing. However, if you zoom in and really scrutinize the footage, you'll see that it almost looks like the whole thing is on the verge of giving way. Can you just imagine the chaos that would erupt if that actually happened? It would be a nightmare scenario for sure. So here's a question for you. If you were there, right in the thick of it, with the crowd going wild and the structure above you bouncing like it was dancing to its own beat, would you stick around and keep cheering, or would you get the heck out of there? In 2019, a YouTuber heard about a mysterious and reportedly haunted cemetery in Georgia, known as the Shadow Cemetery. According to eyewitness accounts, shadowy figures have been spotted wandering around the graves and lurking in the vicinity. Intrigued by these claims and eager to investigate them himself, the YouTuber decided to take a trip to this unsettling location. Once he arrived, he began to explore the wooded areas surrounding the cemetery. As he was panning his camera across the landscape, he noticed something odd in the distance. If you take the time to slow down the footage from his video, you'll see a dark figure standing amidst the bushes. Oddly enough, he didn't notice this at first. As night began to fall, he continued his investigation of the cemetery. It was then that he and his team suddenly saw another shadow figure.
Hello? Look, guys, look. Is that the tree? Oh, yeah.
This one was peering out from the bushes directly in front of them. What made it even more startling was that the figure seemed to float before vanishing quickly into the night. People who have watched the video were genuinely shocked by what they saw. This raises the chilling question, could this dark figure have been following the investigators from the moment they set foot in the cemetery? This intriguing photograph was taken back in 1950 by Abby Rowe, who was a photographer for the National Park Service. The photo is in black and white and shows what looks like a ghostly figure of a human standing in the basement of the White House. The figure appears towards the back of an area that was under construction at the time. Now here's where it gets interesting. No one really noticed this so-called apparition until 2008. A guy from Missouri named Bob Martin spotted it when he was reading David McCullough's award-winning biography of President Truman, which actually won a Pulitzer Prize. Because this mysterious figure is seen standing right below the Lincoln bedroom, some people believe it might be a real photograph of President Abraham Lincoln's ghost. And you know what? Lincoln's ghost has been the stuff of White House legend for years. Multiple presidents and their families have reported seeing Lincoln's spirit wandering the hallways of the presidential residence. However, not everyone's convinced it's a ghost. I've heard from photographers who think there might be a simpler explanation. One suggested that the figure could be the result of a low ISO setting on the camera, which can sometimes create strange effects in a photograph. Another photographer thinks that the figure might just be a trick of the light, playing off the pattern of the stone wall in the basement. So, what do you think? Is it a genuine sighting of Lincoln's ghost, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation? You know, we've seen our fair share of UFOs pop up now and then. Most of the time they show up when the night sky is as clear as glass, or even in broad daylight with the sun shining down. But this recent sighting, man, it's a whole different ballgame. Believe it or not, this UFO decided to make its grand entrance during a thunderstorm. So here's how it all went down. An Instagram user uploaded a video that's got people buzzing like crazy. What's even crazier is that it looks like the person who captured this incredible footage was actually cruising down the highway in a moving car when it happened. But hold on, because it gets even more intriguing. Just as a bolt of lightning illuminates the sky like some kind of cosmic flashlight, this UFO suddenly appears and starts hovering in midair. I mean, it's like it materialized out of thin air. Now, as you can imagine, the video has led to all kinds of wild speculation. Some people are saying that the UFO might be tapping into the energy of the thunderstorm or the lightning bolt itself. You know how we plug our phones into a wall outlet to juice them up? They're suggesting it might be something like that, but on a cosmic scale. It's like the UFO's own personal charging station or something. But of course, not everyone's buying it. There are skeptics in the mix too. A couple of people in the comments have started raising eyebrows, claiming the lightning in the video looks a bit sketchy. They're saying it could be fake, possibly whipped up with some computer graphics. So there you have it. Whether it's a genuine sighting or just some well-done special effects, this UFO video is definitely stirring the pot and giving us all something to talk about. An Instagram video has been making the rounds and catching a lot of attention. In the clip, the camera is positioned high up, perhaps in a building, capturing an ambulance driving on the street below. At first, everything seems normal, but if you pause and look a bit more carefully, something unusual stands out. There's this nearly transparent, white, wispy shape that appears to emerge from the ambulance. It drifts across the street, moving in the opposite direction of the vehicle. It's got people wondering, could this be the spirit of someone who was inside the ambulance? Or on a darker note, could it be some malevolent entity trying to claim the soul of the person inside? What's your take on it? Yet another UFO sighting has caught our attention. A user on TikTok recently shared a captivating video that showcased a mysterious, bright light illuminating the evening sky. As dusk settled in, this brilliant light became even more prominent against the backdrop of the darkening horizon. What's puzzling is how abruptly the light behaves. At one point, it momentarily disappears, only to re-emerge higher in the sky than its original position. You might wonder, how can it possibly move that swiftly? Indeed, if we consider the possibility of it being an aircraft, it seems implausible for it to shift so quickly, almost in the blink of an eye. But the light didn't stop there. As viewers watch with bated breath, the light does something even more astonishing. It seemingly divides into two. Shortly after, a third light emerges, and just as the footage is about to conclude, one of these three orbs appears to flicker in and out of visibility, defying any logical reasoning. While it's a sight that will undoubtedly captivate many, the truth behind these luminous anomalies remains a mystery. We can only speculate and wonder about the forces or entities behind their erratic movements in the sky. Many pet owners hold a deep-seated belief in the afterlife. The story of one Redditor may serve to reinforce this belief, especially for those who have captured what they perceive as tangible evidence on video. In this particular footage, we see a lone dog named Shiloh. Shiloh appears to be waiting for something, with his attention captured by an unseen presence. The video shows him standing, as if at attention, before a security camera. The intensity of his gaze and the anticipation evident in his body language creates a sense of expectation. Soon after, Shiloh's demeanor changes dramatically. The once still and focused dog is now seen gleefully frolicking, as if suddenly reunited with a long-lost playmate. His joy and exuberance are infectious and somewhat mystifying. Then, as if to explain his sudden change in behavior, a faint, fast-moving shadow can be seen on the footage, brushing up against the animated dog. Curious about the commotion outside, a family member decides to investigate. Upon stepping outside, he's immediately struck by an unusually cold breeze concentrated in the very area where the alleged apparition had been detected. This, along with Shiloh's peculiar behavior, leads to speculations. Many pet owners propose a touching theory. They believe that the fleeting shadow could be the spirit of Caden, a beloved dog who had passed away. Shiloh's reaction to the mysterious shadow appears to be one of recognition and familiarity, adding credibility to this theory. It's as if he is reuniting with an old friend, unseen by human eyes but clearly perceived by him. This scenario resonates with the belief that animals possess a sort of sixth sense, an ability to perceive and interact with elements beyond our human understanding. Perhaps in this instance, Shiloh is demonstrating his ability to connect with his old friend Caden, who might just be visiting from the other side. There's this YouTube video from Japan that's been catching a lot of attention lately. It was shot on an overcast and somewhat gloomy day. But what's really grabbing everyone's attention is this mysterious object up in the sky. The person who uploaded the video managed to spot something floating way up there. It's too distant to clearly identify, but you can definitely see that it's oval-shaped, which is quite different from your typical aircraft. Instead of zipping around or following a specific route, this thing seems to be just hovering in one place, without any clear direction. It's not moving much at all. Makes you wonder, could this be another piece of evidence pointing towards a possible visit from extraterrestrial beings? A curious video clip emerged on TikTok, uploaded by a user whose identity remains undisclosed. The exact location of where this event took place is a bit of a mystery, but clues in the video suggest it might be somewhere in southwest Colombia. From the very start of the video, a palpable sense of urgency grips the viewer. We watch as multiple individuals, clearly agitated, scramble to climb the side of a building. As the camera pans upward, it briefly captures the cause of the commotion, a peculiar black shape seemingly in motion atop the roof. At first glance, it's difficult to discern the details of this shadowy figure. However, with a bit of image enhancement, like brightening the footage, the movement becomes unmistakable. There's definitely something, or someone, there. The person who posted the video believes that this eerie presence is a bruja. For those unfamiliar with the term, brujas hold a significant place in Latin American and Afro-Caribbean folklore. They are often considered practitioners of magic, somewhat similar to what we might think of as witches in European traditions. The mysticism surrounding brujas is a melting pot of influences, drawing from African magical practices, European spiritualism, and Taino indigenous beliefs. This results in a rich and varied spiritual tapestry, where a bruja might be viewed as either benevolent or malevolent, depending on their intentions and actions. Historically, the Catholic Church has often viewed such practices with suspicion, if not outright hostility. This has led to demonization and at times persecution, pushing many of these magical practices and their practitioners to the edges of society. Given this background, it's perhaps less surprising to see the intense reaction of the locals in the video. They seem deeply unsettled, possibly convinced that an evil witch, a malevolent bruja, is lurking right above them on the rooftops. This video, like many others on social platforms, raises as many questions as it answers.
That wraps it up for this episode. If you want more of this type of content, then consider subscribing. This is Donovan Dredd signing off. Take care, everyone.